Hello, and welcome to another day of English 2. I'm your online teacher, Miss Abear. Today, we are working on an argument writing piece about free speech and social media. You guys have been reading articles, watching videos, and having some great discussions in class, kind of looking into this topic of free speech and social media. Today, you're going to be doing a little bit of a debate with a partner, and I'm going to give you some protocols for this. But as a reminder, before we delve too deep into today's lesson, this is part of a unit from Common Lit. It is Unit 6 for Grade 10 ELA on the Common Lit website. And as a reminder, if your teacher needs these resources and has not gotten access to them yet, or maybe there's somebody new in your classroom and they need to know how to access the resources for this unit, they can go back to Lesson 1 in Unit 4, my Unit 4, to see how to access those resources on the Common Lit website. So, if you have any confusion at all, again, just go back to that Lesson 1 and it walks you through. So our essential question, and this is really for any argument writing piece, is how do you convince someone that you are right, that your thoughts, your ideas, your claim is the right side of a debate? And today, you're going to have an opportunity to argue one side or the other. And so you should have a handout, or your teacher should give you this handout on a partner debate protocol. But you're going to be delving into the idea of, should schools be able to discipline students for what they say on social media? You will need that handout, that debate protocol handout. You'll also need your note-taking graphic organizer. That's what you've been collecting evidence on throughout this unit. You'll also need something to write with, a pen or pencil, so that you can complete this partner debate protocol. So let's dig in. Today, you're going to practice crafting an effective argument through a debate. And just like I said before, essay writing is a conversation. It is a conversation that you're having with a piece of paper that can't argue back. And so in order to make a strong, compelling argument, you need to know what somebody else is thinking when they are reading your essay. And that's exactly what a debate is. Each side arguing their point and trying to convince the other that their side is the right side. And so you only strengthen your argument by hearing the other side and really listening to and being able to respond to that other side. Because if you don't have a way that you can say you're wrong because, then your argument's weak. And you don't want a weak argument. You want to win that argument, because winning is what we all want, right? So on the debate protocols, the very first thing that you're going to do is think of reasons for both sides of the argument. You're going to assemble evidence and collaborate with a small group, and then you're going to share your position and address the opposing points of view in pairs. So that's the 3 steps of what you're doing. I'm going to walk you through each of those steps, because you're not alone in this argument. Even though you're going to be debating with a partner, you're going to have an opportunity to work with a group to get the most compelling argument that you can get. So before we get too deep into this, you have a little bit of independent work to do really quickly. So I want you to do a little quick write on both sides. I want you to be prepared for whatever side of the argument your teacher is going to put you on. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes, maybe a little less, to just jot down an answer for yes or an answer for no. Should schools generally be able to discipline students for what they say on social media? Or should schools not generally be able to discipline students for what they say on social media? Have that reason. I'll give you just a couple of minutes to write down those reasons. All right, good work. Now you're going to begin assembling information to support one side or the other. Your teacher gets to decide which side of the argument you're going to have to debate. So I'm going to pause for a second so that your teacher can assign you a side, and then once your side has been assigned, you are going to be collecting evidence for that side. So I'm going to give you a second. Again, I'm going to pause. Your teacher can assign you which side, and then I want you to find the evidence to support your side of the argument. All right, great job, guys. I know that you've got some compelling evidence, but is it enough? So the next piece is you are going to get with your group. You should have two sides of your classroom. One should be, students should be able to be punished for what they post on social media. The other side of the classroom should be a whole group on they should not be able to punish you for what's on social media. You guys are going to meet as two different groups. You're going to share your evidence. So whatever evidence that your other people in your group have, write that evidence down as well. You want as much evidence to support your position as you possibly can. So get together in your groups. I'll give you just a few minutes to share out within that group, share all of your ideas, all of your evidence, write it down, and then you're going to get to debate someone on the other side of the classroom. All right, you've had plenty of time to get your best 4 pieces of evidence together. You got the best 4, the other side's got the best 4, and let's battle it out. So you're gonna form a pair. So go ahead and line up however your teacher wants to get you guys battling. And if it were my classroom, I'd have a line down the middle of the room, and you'd stand on one side or the other, and you guys would battle it out with your best evidence. Now, when your opposing person comes back with their reason why it shouldn't be allowed to be punished, or this other side says they should, think about what evidence they presented. Be ready to bring that evidence back to your group when we reconvene with your group. So, round 1, battle it out. All right, great job. That was interesting. It was very fun to watch. Now, we're going to go round 2. But before we do, let's talk about something really quick. You should have presented your argument. Each student should have only had about 1 minute to present their argument. And you should have, again, switched roles. You may or may not have done this. Round 2, you will for sure do this. Are you ready? Round 2, battle it out with a different partner. All right, that was interesting. That was really fun to watch from my side. I'm sure it was fun to watch from your side. Now, I want you to go back to your handout. And for a second, I want you to think about the best points from your side and what their response was. And I want you to write that information down so that when you're getting ready to write your argument, you've got a rebuttal for what somebody else might say that's against what you say. So write that information down for each side, all right? All right, great job, guys. Next, this is going to be something that you're going to be doing a little bit independently, and I want you to think about both sides of the argument because you've had an opportunity to not only work with a group on collecting evidence for one side, But when you had that debate, you had to think about what the other side said and the evidence that they brought and whether it was compelling or not. So you may have begun this whole unit on one side, but now you may be thinking, I'm really not sure. Maybe I think differently, and I think differently because. Why might you think differently now? I'm going to tell you why. Because you've got evidence. You've got evidence that on something that you believe in. So now I want you to think about that. Write your answer down. Do you still feel the way you do at the beginning of this unit? Heck, do you still feel the way you did at the beginning of this day? Now that you've had this opportunity to debate, I want you to write your thoughts down here on part 6 of your handout. All right, guys, I know that you are ready to hash this out and begin writing your essay, and we're going to do that next time. But here's the fun part. You don't have to wait until we get back together on the next lesson. You can start writing that essay, start writing your ideas down, your thoughts down, all of those thoughts going through your head. Keep writing those things down. That way, you are 100% prepared when it's time to draft your essay, and we're doing that next time. So that's all that we have for today. Guys, you did a fantastic job. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson as much as I did. And until next time, happy reading.